going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome into Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. Please make sure you are subscribed to the Mayo Media Network. Like this video, smash the like button, as my buddy Pat Mayo says. We are thankful to be here on this show. So please rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment on the YouTube section. We'll circle back before a puck drop as well. You have any questions, season-long questions, I will circle back and take care of those as well. I got Cam Stewart hanging by 3 games on the ice tonight. Feels like every time Cam and I talk, the Bruins and the Rangers are on the schedule. So we'll dive into that game and see if Mika Zibanejad can get us any goals, because it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. Check out prizepicks.com. Check out the link in this description for a promo code as well. Lots of options tonight, even with only 3 games. You can take a look at player shots. You can take a look at over-under for saves as well. So keep an eye on prizepicks.com. You can parlay them with any sport that you love. So my entry today, I am going back to Mika Zibanejad. That's right. I can't even say it without a smile on my face. It's 2.6. It's too low for Mika Zibanejad. This is a former 40-goal scorer. He scored 41 last year. Yes, I know he has 2 this season. I think his last one came with an empty net. Does it even count? I don't know. It would count on Prize Picks. Let's keep in mind the scoring. 3 points for a goal, 2 for an assist, half a point for a shot, half a point for a block. So Mika loves to shoot the puck a time. If he gets 3 or 4 shots here, that's 2 points. Gets an assist, we're on our way. Heck, if he gets 1 assist tonight, we're definitely on our way. I think he's going to get 2 shots tonight, but if he gets a goal, he's there. I know it's the Bruins. It's a tough matchup. He's going to see a lot of Patrice Bergeron. I get all that. Boston allowed 7 goals last night, so who knows? Maybe Mika can find 1 goal here this evening. So I'm taking the over 2.6. He's been very unlucky, according to Money Puck. He's the 5th unluckiest player so far this season, according to shooting percentage and expected goals, 3.9% shooting rate. It's fairly low for Mika Zibanejad. The other guy I like here tonight is Nathan MacKinnon. For Nathan MacKinnon, another guy, a volume shooter. You look at overall points per game, he should be among the leaders. When I look at the prop here set, I think he should be at a guy that should be 5.1, 5.4. We're seeing Pasternak, Matthews up around the 5.5 mark, playing Arizona tonight. Arizona allowed at least 3 goals in back-to-back games to the Ducks. The Ducks struggling all year to score some goals. So I think this is a get-right spot for the Colorado Avalanche. Get away from playing Vegas 4 times in a row. A tough game last time out against Minnesota too. So give me the over on Nate. We probably get 3 or 4 shots from him. He's got a shot in every single game this season. He's got at least 3 in 5 straight games as well. Another guy I'll throw at you quickly is Adam Fox, 3 points. He's hit that alone with just the shots and the blocks. So I think he does enough in those categories to get over the 3 points. Check out prizepicks.com. Cam Stewart, what's up, man?
Meaney, how you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. Struggling to get through Mika Zibanejad stats, I'll tell you that.
It's the best. Mika Zibanejad should be giving me and you a call. Hey, thank you, guys, for still believing in me. Hey, Mika, here's a tip. Get some points and help Meaney and the bettors out here. You haven't been very good. I will say this, though. You're absolutely right. You watched that Islanders-Bruins game last night. The Islanders in the third period just peppered these guys. They hung Boston hung Halak out to dry, and the Islanders, some teams just beat some teams, Meaney. It's a crazy league that we're living in. And I'll tell you, the Islanders just own the Boston Bruins. It's one of the not many teams in the league can say these type of things, but the Islanders, man, and they're really starting to get their act together. I will say this, it's been a tough week, Meaney. There's nothing worse in hockey. I'm sitting there, like I literally finished my show with Gabe and we're doing in-game live. And I'm leading. I got every single bet is winning. Like in the third period, I'm like breaking even. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Think about the comebacks. Dallas in that game, nice 2-0 lead. Florida, 3 straight. You talk about it like in-game betting right now. Like we have to do bets before the show because that's what we do. We do a betting show. But guys, if you're going to like play hockey and stuff, sometimes just sit back and wait. Last night, the Florida Panthers were plus 810, down 2 goals with a whole period to go, and they win. You throw $100 on that, it's party time, right? I'm telling you, that's the way to play this game. 1 or 2 goal leads in hockey in today's world, it means nothing.
You're dead on. Absolutely right. And I love the live betting. It's great across all the sports. I don't know how many times you and I have had this conversation together in person, right? Talking about live betting. And I had the conversation with somebody too the other day when it was with the Chiefs. Remember, they were like slow starting. It's like, I don't want to lay this money on the Chiefs. Maybe if they get down early and, you can just jump on the live betting. The same thing works for hockey. That's crazy. I didn't see those live odds. I saw the comeback for Florida. But man, yeah, that would have been real nice. And did the Sabres blow a lead last night as well?
Yes. Or? Excellent point. There was actually 3 games. Good call. But the Sabres game was a little bit different. They were actually beating New Jersey. And then I think Ullmark had a freak injury, and then Hutton came in there. I remember I'm telling Brian Blessing, I'm taping a hockey show. I go, I never trust a goalie with LASIK surgery. That's like horses. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, man, I'm a goaltender and I got an eye problem. Like, I'm like, okay, this is probably not a good idea. It was like back in the day when I was playing Meaney. Remember the Tampa Bay Lightning? They had Sebastian Rowe's brother, Zach Burke. He's like, I got vertigo. I'm like, you're a goalie in the National Hockey League, man. That's probably the worst combination ever. But anyway, I digress. And New Jersey in that game, Hutton came in, ding, 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 ding. They were getting smoked by the Sabres. They came back and live. They were like, I think almost like 6 or 7-1 too. So it was craziness in the National Hockey League last night. Look at Montreal, 2-goal lead early against the Jets. You could have popped them at like 4-1. Boom, they come back and not just win the game, they murder these guys. And by the way, Meaney, you're Montreal Canadiens. That team's starting to really piss me off.
Buddy, it's you and me both, man. I think we need to rewind the tape from a month ago, and we were like, yeah, the Habs are pretty good. Real good hockey team. They may compete with the Leafs. Yeah. Stanley Cup odds are pretty good. Like, let's talk about this team. The depth, real nice depth. They got Carey Price in net. This team they look real bad. They're sitting here today in a playoff spot. I mean, the Flames got just absolutely crushed by the Sens last night. The Canucks can't figure it out at all. So by default, this team is still in a playoff spot despite losing 4 straight, maybe 5 of 7. Yeah, they're struggling. And, yesterday was the same old with them. And yeah, they started off hot. They got to Hellebuck, but they didn't get, I don't know, they had maybe 24, 25 shots. Hardly. There was a couple minutes left in the third and they had 20 shots on goal. There was no drive. They're out of sync. The defense looks bad, but it's the same thing that I've been noticing with them is this is like a dirty rec league hockey team. I brought it up to you guys before.
Yep.
They play like a team in my rec league that is fast. They have a couple young, flashy forwards.
Yeah, dirty punks.
Dirty punks. Like Sherrod has I think 40 minutes in penalties in I think the past 5 games. All of them last night. Weber, Petrie, Sherrod, Edmonston, all giveaways, all penalties. You can't be giving these teams like the Oilers and the Leafs and the Jets all their firepower. Power plays. Like Price needs to be better. There's no question. Price looks awful. He looks bad. He's getting paid like an elite goalie. He needs to be at least in the conversation. He's nowhere close to it. He's got to be better. But at the same time, you can't be giving these teams 4 or 5 power plays. It's just nonstop over and over. So they have a lot of holes to fix, and confidence is a crazy thing. But I didn't think the Jets should be home dogs last night, despite, the whole coaching change, and you expect players to show up for these guys, but it's not like they brought in a new face. I mean, he's been in, Deschamps been in with the team for a couple of years now. Yeah.
I did some smart things and some dumb things. And, when I'm doing my show with Morency, and I'm thinking, I love Ottawa tonight. Calgary coming off of the back-to-back, and people look at you when you bet Ottawa, but this team's figuring it out. I already tell you, Stützle is going to be the rookie of the year. This kid's the real deal. Ottawa's figuring it out. They got good young players on their team, and they absolutely pummeled Calgary. And big save Dave, who played his best hockey, 71 out of 72 saves against the Leafs. They're scoring from behind the blue line on this guy. So that didn't last very long. But Ottawa, Detroit, sometimes you got to take bad teams in the NHL right now. And you saw it, Minnesota, you mentioned it off the top. They beat Colorado. Big pooches. These mean, nasty dogs are coming in. And it's hard when you got your finger to click the button saying, I'm betting against Colorado, or I'm betting against this team. But it's happening all the time. One more point about the Canadiens, meaning it bothers me. The whole thing. Why even let Julien start the year? If this was your plan, you guys. And I'll tell you another thing. You're getting rid of a good hockey man like Kirk Muller, probably the only winner in the whole organization. Screw you guys. Hey, Bergevin, take a look in the mirror, you clown. I'm telling you, I don't like the move at all. I think it's ridiculous. And this team was still over 500. Blame the defense, the penalties, and the bad goaltending, not the coaches. Meaning that's my take.
Yeah, it's a pretty spot on take, Cam. I'm pretty much right there with you. I didn't why make this move now? And Bergevin just said there were signs from last season. They had 2 8-game losing streaks last year, and there were similar signs. Like, well, maybe it's the personnel, right? Maybe it's the players. Maybe it's some of the guys. I know that this is a big offseason for him. This is basically his last card, right? His last chip. I would assume that he would be the next guy to go. I mean, Julian's been fired from the Canadiens twice now with winning records. Winning records, Cam. It's not like they were in a playoff spot and he was just.
That's my point. How do you fire a guy with a winning record like that? You know what I mean, Meaney? It's like what did Claude Julien ever do? But anyway, and the guys get health issues too. It's like, come on, Montreal, that was brutal.
There's one more thing before we move on from them. There were a couple things that made me shake my head a little bit, and the power play is not so much on him. It's supposed to be Kirk Muller's thing, but a playoff coach knows how to win. Was a big part of he was there when they beat the Penguins to get into the quote unquote playoffs in the bubble, right? So he was there, he left Philly and so on, right? But he's still a smart coach when it comes to playoffs. And you think that even with this losing streak, still in a playoff spot, that they get in. And now they're going to a quote unquote rookie coach. Don't get me wrong. He's had some success. Sean, he was with the Halifax Mooseheads and won a Memorial Cup there. He's won gold with Team Canada. He's had some success, but you're getting rid of a legitimate coach. But some things he did, Cam, that, rub me the wrong way, like 3-on-3, 4-on-4, like you put on Philip Deneau 3-on-3. This guy has 0 goals on the season. You don't play to defend 3-on-3. You're not putting Philip Deneau against Austin Matthews. You just put your best players against your best players.
It's a great point you bring up.
Some things like that bothered me, but the coaching change, I just didn't see. It happened live on air. I was a little taken back with Pete Jensen. We were like, whoa, what? And I kind of liked it at the time, but it was an off-season move, or you wait it out in shortened season. You don't do it now. Bergevin may eat that, but let's get into today.
Yes.
3 games on the ice tonight. We talked about a couple bad teams. One of them, the New York Rangers. We got the Rangers here. By the way, good call by you with the Sens. I think the Sens are a team that you want to be hesitant to bet against, right? Because
I agree.
They bring it every night. I had the under there. I was pretty ticked off because it was under 6.5. I got the late goal to get over.
So what's Calgary going to do, Meaney? We fire the coach because they lose to the Sens. Montreal loses 2 games to the Sens. Maybe we gas these guys. This is the thing. Losing to the Ottawa Senators is no shame anymore. They're actually a hardworking, good young team that's going to get better. That's the whole point. They're not clowns.
And what are we doing about the Canucks, right? Are we making any changes with the Canucks? Because the Sens are 3 points back on them with 2 games in hand.
Here's the thing about the Canucks, and I bet them again thinking they were due, and they actually, I'm watching these games going, I can't believe I'm losing. They are outplaying Edmonton. The chances, Mike Smith is standing on his damn head. He looks like the young Mike Smith, but these guys, once they get goal down, Meaney, the goals aren't there. They just look stupid. They take dumb penalties at dumb times. This isn't even on Travis Green. I blame betting. You get rid of Tyler Toffoli and these guys. Like, come on, man. Don't be stupid. This team, you went to the bubble. And another thing, Thatcher Demko is a good goaltender, but you don't get rid of Markstrom just because one guy has a flash in the pan against Vegas in the playoffs. You have to evaluate people over long periods of time. And I think the Vancouver Brass has done a crap job. They should fire themselves. They're the reason they're in this jam right now. They got no defense. This team is Pettersson doesn't look the same, Meaney. This team has a major problems putting the puck in the net too. They can't defend, and their goaltending's inconsistent. That's on betting.
I feel like we're Frank Costanza here, airing out our grievances.
That's right. It's Festivus. Hey Kruger, my son says your company stinks. You couldn't get with a babe with the sheets and smooth. And remember that speech? And he lost when he was said, it's my favorite. Hey Kruger, you couldn't do with a babe. And
I lost my train of thought.
That is the best. I'm like, God, I got
a lot of problems with you people.
I did exactly.
You're right about betting. It's definitely on him. The fact that Toffoli wasn't even given an offer, reportedly,
stupid,
right? It's not me saying that. Reports suggest that Toffoli says right from his mouth that he wasn't even given an offer from Vancouver. And you look up and down their lineup, Brock Besser's making under 6. Horvat's making under 6. Miller's making under 6. You got Pettersson and Quinn Hughes making combined $2 million. There's no reason that this team shouldn't be, competitive. But it's their defense. They have some issues.
They do.
We'll move.
You're right, Meaney. You're hanging out with me. You sound like the grumpy old guy now. Get off my lawn. But I think we're right about these situations. These teams shouldn't be as bad as they are. Vancouver should be better.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, Boston, New York. The Rangers. Here we go. They've played each other twice so far this season. The
Yeah.
Bruins have won both.
Yep.
And the under hit them both. It was 3-2 overtime and then 1-0. I don't know if it was you and I that were on. We liked the Rangers, I think, maybe to bounce back, and then Panarin was ruled out, and then we were like, we circle back. I remember circling back on the YouTube page under the video here on the Mayo Media Network not to bet it. I can't get behind this Rangers team right now. I know that I'm talking about Mika Zibanejad off the top of the show, but his prop is at 2.6. It's fairly low. I don't love him tonight in DFS. If you're playing 150 lineups, sure, go for it. But the Rangers here, plus 138, Boston 159, just got embarrassed last night to the Islanders, 11-4-2 on the year, and 6-8-3. We're going to get Tuukka Rask back in net tonight. Georgiev is getting the start for the Rangers. I don't know. Do you feel like laying your money on the Rangers here tonight?
Not really, Meaney. You know, I'm getting sick and tired of watching some of these picks just explode. And I'm sitting there at the end of the night going, what the hell happened? Boston, after getting embarrassed to the New York Islanders, they have the type of team with pride to come back and battle. The Rangers, they're going to be a desperate team. They played very poorly against Philadelphia, who got smoked at Lake Tahoe. So I don't really know what to do with this game. I know we really talk about unders a lot of the time, but let's call it out for what it is. I can maybe see some overs. Do you like 6 goals in this game? Like, I think Boston's going to be more efficient. I think the Rangers can score some goals. Boston's been a little bit lax recently defensively, Meaney. So what do you think about that? 6 goals, we get to the win. I want to take the Rangers in this spot. I don't feel totally comfortable backing them. If the bread man was in the lineup, I would consider it. But I'm telling you, I think I might be a little bit contrarian, and I think we can get 6 or more goals in this game. You saw what Philadelphia did to the Rangers, and Boston's been giving them up, and they could score. I think we can get over 6.
Yeah, I think if you feel like there's going to be over 6, this is maybe a game to attack, maybe from a DFS standpoint. Obviously, you know, we'll get to some plays a little bit later on, but Pasternak, Bergeron, Marchand, those guys are all fairly expensive. But the Rangers guys are cheap. I mean, Chris Kreider's coming off a hat trick. He's got 4 goals in his past 2 games, so maybe he's going to start to get going here. But I look for some of these kids. Like I don't know, man. It's tough. It's just tough for the. I don't know if the Rangers get there, Cam. I just don't know if they do. But if you got a feeling, I'm in because the past couple days have been a little weird here.
I think the feeling is heartburn, depression, and lost money. I know I open up my wallet and I'm seeing like cobwebs instead of like big stacks. Like, it's been tough. The NHL, we were really rocking and rolling. It was a license to print money, and I was like on fire. I mean, if Max Homa didn't win that golf tournament on Sunday, I'd be in big trouble because hockey's been very difficult for me right now. But I don't have faith in the Rangers as a dog. And I actually think I'm just going to go take the over in this game. I see goals, and I see Boston kind of bouncing back after that game. And I'll tell you, there's the Rangers, all their games were under before, but they're playing a little bit loose, and I still think they can score. So I think 6 goals is an attainable number. That's the way I'm going to go.
And you know, you were talking about live betting. I mean, maybe you just stay away. If the Rangers get up by a couple, maybe then you get in on the Bruins, you get your over, and you get the Bruins come back. Maybe that's a way to get involved with this game. Pasternak's 3.5, the shot prop. It's fairly high, but he's shooting again, right? He went through a little bit of a lull. He was off that first line for a bit, and they were just trying to balance out some of their offense. But he's had quite a few shots here over the past couple games. 5 in his last game, 4 at Lake Tahoe. He had the hat trick, man. He's such a stud. And then 6 the game before that. So he's got 15 shots in his past 3 games. Rangers, as you mentioned, playing a little bit loose. Still a lot of holes defensively, right? The right side is really just without Trouba, without D'Angelo. It's just super thin, like Adam Fox. That's why I mentioned him in the prize picks up at the top. Like, he's been getting 3 shots, 3 blocks. That's the 3 fantasy points right there, half a point for every block and every shot. So he's just logging a lot of ice time. I don't know how much he can keep it up, but there is a line that I really like here. Maybe I'll save it for DFS. I'll just throw them out now. I'm not seeing any shot props over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Just keep an eye on whatever sportsbook you like and whatever one you use. Maybe we can do a first-time goal with some of these guys. But I've really noticed that second line since Krejci has been out. Mm-hmm. We're getting Charlie Coyle, Craig Smith, and Nick Ritchie. All these guys, like Nick Ritchie, 15-1 for a first-time goal. He's plus 270. He's still getting top power play time. Craig Smith, 17-1. Charlie Coyle, 18-1. They all hit the score sheet over the past couple games too. So I like that secondary line for the Boston Bruins. Let's move on. We got Colorado and let's go Colorado and Arizona. We got the Coyotes here. Home dogs plus 155, 9-10 against the spread, 9-7-3. They came from behind on the Ducks twice.
I know.
Down 3-0.
That's what I was going to. Another live team. You're 3 goals down. Think about the money you could make. That's the thing, Meaney. Like I have to do picks before the show. We're working on gambling shows. We work on a gambling network. I do. So I'm basically, I'll give you picks before the game, but I'm going to tell you tonight, the girlfriend's back at her place. She's got to take care of business. I'm going to set up shop in front of my TV. I wish I had like Mayo, like 9 TVs, a headset and everything. And just with, quick access to the bank. Ding, 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 ding. It's going to be a live betting buffet tonight at my house. I am going to go absolutely bananas. And we got to do an experiment, Meaney. Sometimes you just take 3 or 4 games. If you clip one of them down 3 goals, you're winning money. It doesn't even matter about the other stuff. Think about it. Plus 8-10. You're down. These games were almost 10-1 sometimes when these teams are down 3 goals. It's insane. They come back. You're in a beautiful hedge position. You can do a lot of things. So it's an experiment where, a lot of the time when I have more money, I'm just going to live bet like teams down a goal or 2, Meaney, and just go ding, 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 and see what happens. Because hockey to me is the best sport for it. It's unbelievable. Like baseball used to be great, but hockey's even better. The lines are insane. Like the discrepancy between an opening line favorite and a team once they give up the first goal is nuts to me.
I know.
Teams are going to give up the first goal. It's life. You come out, boom, the other team's fired up, boom, you come right back on, wow, I'm getting this team that was minus 180 as a dog. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do it every time.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. And no lead is safe in hockey, right? You see all the 2-goal leads. Those ones are definitely not safe.
3-goal leads now.
3, 4. Yeah, the 3, the 4, the Leafs blew a 4-1 lead or 5-1 lead like a couple weeks ago to the Sens.
Yeah.
The Habs last night with the up early 2-0. And then, I watched both those games. I mean, the Ducks played well. They were up 3-0 in both of those games. I believe maybe even in the third period, they were up 3-0 in both, or at least one. And Zona came back and won both of those games 4-3. Mm-hmm. So this is the first meeting between these two teams. They were supposed to play a couple weeks ago, and it was postponed. I do like Colorado to bounce back here. I think we're going to see probably their best effort. You're looking at the standings, and I know it's fairly early, and we'll get to the other game here in just a little bit with some of those teams playing really good hockey in the West. But I know Colorado, young guys, not used to losing, very competitive, and all of a sudden, this is a team that's in 6th place in the West. I know they've only played 16 games, but this is Stanley Cup favorite, Colorado Avalanche. Supposed to be beating teams every single night. I think that we'll see their best effort from their superstars. Like I'm going to be spending up on DK and like for McKinnon and Rantanen.
Yeah.
Like the shot props on both of those guys. Rantanen is minus 150, 2.5 shots. He usually gets there. I know he didn't the other night, but this is a guy who's averaging per game, 3 shots. So anytime I can get somebody averaging 3 shots per game and I just need them to get 3, I'm going to take that one. And Landeskog is another guy too. If you want to get involved with him, minus 112, 2.5. Nathan McKinnon's juiced up a bit. He's not for me, minus 182, 3.5, but maybe you can put it into a parlay or whatnot and get a little bit more value there. But I like those guys. What do you think about the total? Because Grubauer's been really good all year.
Yeah, but Colorado's been, Arizona scores goals. Yes, they give up goals. I'll tell you something, Meaney. Are you hungry? Right now?
I am hungry.
I'm hungry. Well, you better call the local butcher because I got a big piece of salami coming your way. Grand salami over tonight. If I like the over in the Rangers game, I like the over in this. I think actually, and I've been preaching unders, but Friday night, overtime tonight. And we haven't got to the Kings game. These guys are scoring. Like they can score goals now too. I think we're going to see the Wild aren't your grandfather's Wild. They like to play more of an up and down style. They're not that 2-1 team anymore. So I'm going call the butcher. Bring salami, extra salt. Meaney, you bring the beer. I got the salami. It's sandwich time. I like the over tonight, and I do agree with you. Colorado to the over is the way I'm going to play the game. But people, beware. Like I'm not just going to slam this game. Columbus was in a similar situation, needed points, they're behind. And what happened? They ran into a wall, Malcolm Subban, and lost a 2-0 game last night when they needed a win. So this league is wild and crazy, meaning there is no locks. Every lock has a key, but Colorado, if they show up for this game, they should be able to take care of Arizona. I'm seeing like a 5-2, 5-3 game.
I like it. Matty Best, you hungry?
Yeah, feed me the salami. That's a sentence I wish I could take back after saying it. But I am all on board with the over there. And like you guys have been saying, it's the perfect bounce back spot for the Avs. I think out of all the games, we haven't even touched on the third one yet. This is going to be my favorite one to bet. But the live betting for the Bruins-Rangers game does intrigue me. But I'm all over this over, and I'm all over the Avalanche tonight.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? Every game, sorry to interrupt me, and I know you're the man, but every game's 5.5. We're not dealing with like a 6.5 or a 6-2. So, to get to where we need to go, I think we see a little bit more like line value. And I have a feeling I'm looking at the matchups, like people will assume these teams play unders, but I can see some goals. So, it's a little bit of a leap of faith, but I really think we can get there tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. I like it quite a bit. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that Arizona had, like this Ducks team, I know they called up Trevor Zegras and maybe their offense has to get going. It's just one kid. He's not going to be able to turn everything around for them. But the fact that I've watched a lot of Ducks games, unfortunately. Yeah, I've watched. No,
because you're a hockey guy. I mean, no,
Zegras. They come on late. I should be in bed. It's like,
what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's the thing. Like instead of like going to bed, I go, let's have a few more beers and watch the Ducks and see if we're gonna play this game. Like, you see a shootout goal? That guy's got skills, bro. Jeez.
Oh yeah, and he really does. And then Matt's writing me, on Twitter, and Prize Picks, get the plays up. Are you up? And it's like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm up here. It's like 2:00 my time, and I'm watching the Ducks, but watching Arizona, you're right. They're playing over the past couple of years, it was mostly, okay, let's defend, right? Let's defend. Let's rely on Kemper, Ranta, and let's just try to win 2-1 games, 1-0 games. But they have some guys who can score, man, like Keller and Garland.
Yep.
Dvorak. Kessel has been really good lately, right? He's had a better season this year than last year. And
their defense is underrated too. Like Chetcher and all these, like these guys, they don't have household names, but they're all good young players on the team, and they're getting confidence. So that's the thing. The Coyotes can score goals even on Colorado. So
they were allowing some, right? The Ducks, who can't score, had the 3 pretty easily early on in that game. So I just think we'll see. That's probably my favorite bet too, Maddie, is maybe Colorado and over. I think we're going to see some goals. I think he can get, team totals, maybe over 3.5 goals for Colorado. I think that 5-2, and you've been calling games. Is that what you're going with? 5-2 Avs tonight?
5-2, 5-3, Meaney. Let's go 5-3 tonight.
5-3. I like it.
Can't pick a winner in a Canucks game, but we can do exact score gambling. Thanks. God, I'm such an idiot. It's just I've done it like twice this year. I know it's so
you got mortgage paid for the next couple months. You know one of those. I love it. All right.
What do we got?
This game is
Kings and Kings and Wild.
Kings
are on fuego. They are hot, man.
Yeah, what is going on? They've won 6 straight. They're tied for 3rd in the West. They're 9-6-3. It doesn't seem to matter if it's Pettersson or if it's Quick. Both of those guys lately have been great. I think Quick has 2 shutouts in the past week. And the Wild have won 4 straight games after being away for a bit and not playing. I think we've talked about Matt Zuccarello on every single show, but Matt Zuccarello has been great since he's been back in the lineup, started on the 4th line up to the 2nd line. Him and Kaprizov, they seem to have some chemistry, the connection together. I like goals in this game too, even though the Kings, the goaltending has been really good, but I don't know. What do you think about this matchup? Both these teams, man, they're playing good hockey right now.
Minnesota can score. I really want to take the Kings, Meaney, but I think Minnesota, maybe they got a little bounce in their step, the way they played against Colorado. The Kings have been feeling good. I kind of lean Minnesota and the over in this game. I think it should be like, I see like a 4-3 Wild game. I see goals and the Wild squeaking out a win. The Kings have been good. You said it. Jonathan Quick, the guy looks like reincarnated now. The guy, he looks like he was back in the other days. And the Kings, that's the thing about hockey and other sports. Like once you start to feel it, like guys like Dustin Brown and Kopitar, like, wow, look at these young guys. It's like when I'm working with, like when me and Morency are working with you guys and you're on fire, it's like it fires up the old guys. It's like, let's go, man. Like we're going to win some games. We're going to bury these turkeys. Like in the old days, you see Dustin Brown put somebody through the glass. I'm telling you, Meaney, this Kings team is starting to scare me, and it's funny. Don't listen to narratives and other people. Oh, the Kings are going to be the worst team in the National Hockey League. No, like they're feeling it right now, and their losses were to Vegas. They're in all these games, and Minnesota. Great point by you on Zuccarello. They can play a speed game now. They got really good players on that team. I like Minnesota 4-3. I think it's going to be a fantastic hockey game.
I like Minnesota too. I was a little hesitant. Like the -175 is tough.
Yeah.
plus 148. It feels like a puck line game for our boy Matty. Matty, I know you're thinking puck line.
Or parlay.
Yeah.
This is a parlay spot. I don't want to touch the puck line here. My puck line go-to has been the Chicago Blackhawks, though. My goodness, they are making me some money, and I love it.
Nice. On Wednesday, I don't know if it was on this show or not, Matt, but the FTN subs hit Matt Zuccarello 20-1 first-time goal in Minnesota's recent game. I believe it was
this show. It was Wednesday's show.
And then Iafallo.
Yeah.
Both of those guys hit.
What's Zuccarello?
So Zook was 21. Now he's 13-1. I still like it. It's not bad. And then Iafallo was 18-1 first goal, and he got it. And he's 18-1 today. So I don't know about going back to those guys. It seems a little weird to go back to them, even though we did that a couple times with Matthews. It's a little different company.
Yes.
Fiala 10-1, a volume shooter, but I really do like Zuccarello and Iafallo. Like Iafallo, those two lines, like Kopitar and Brown. Like Brown just continues. He's plus money, 2.5 shots, plus 110. I know it's right in around that number where he's usually a guy that hits right around 2. He can get you that 3, but there's nothing Zuccarello's not showing up. If he showed up, I would get involved. Fiala's 2.5, but it's minus 195. That's just too much. I can't get there. And then Kopitar 1.5, but it's minus 286. And even the unders, there's no under. Maybe Ryan Suter under 1.5, but that's minus 139 here. If Dumba showed up, if you could see Dumba at 2.5, if your book allows Dumba, that's the guy that I would go to over anybody in this game. Yep. Matt Dumba just logs a lot of ice time, and he loves to shoot it. He gets 4 or 5 shots here and there. So I am in on the Wild.
What about Wild and the over? Do you like the over?
I do like the over. Yeah, I like the over. Even though those Kings goalies have been playing good, I think that Minnesota's, like you said, just their offense has opened up a little bit. The Kings can score too. That top line is really nice. So, yeah, I do. I think we see like a 4-2 game. I think it's close.
You know what? I was thinking 4-2, 4-3 too, Meaney. So exact score twice. Okay, ding, ding. If one of them hits, you just split up those units and get the party started.
I love it. Split them up. All right, let's recap DK here and then get out of here. At the center position, up at the top, McKinnon 9K, Bergeron 7.9, Zibanejad 6, Kopitar 5.7, Kadri 5.3, Dvorak 5.2, Eriksson Ek is 5.1, Nick Schmaltz is 5K. So I do suggest spending up at the top for McKinnon. I think, we all three of us think that there are going to be some goals here in this Colorado game.
Big time. And that's the thing. You need to, when you're putting it together, Meaney, and you're way better, like your DFS picks are like money in the bank and your shot props, but you have to sometimes, it's one of those things. You start, you pay up, and then you find value. McKinnon could go off tonight. He's just a one-man wrecking crew, and I think he can have like a 3-point night tonight, 3-4-point night. I wouldn't even be shocked. So McKinnon has to be the anchor of any team, I think.
Yeah, you spend up for him. You can get involved if you want as we move over to the wing position, Pasternak, Marchand, Rantanen. I really do think those Colorado guys like Rantanen and McKinnon is the way to go. And then, you got Garland in there 6'9", Fiala 6'6", Landeskog 5'8". I mean, even Landeskog, if you want to get away from Rantanen, you go Landeskog and McKinnon, and, you're saving a little bit of cash there with Landeskog at 5'8". I think that's a pretty decent value there. Iafallo is 4'8", Kreider's 4'6", Kaprizov is 4'4". Kessel has been good lately, guys.
He has.
Nobody's really thinking about playing Phil Kessel. He's got 7 goals and 14 points on the season. He's got a point in 4 straight games and 6 points over that span with 3 goals. I know. Phil Kessel, double check again this morning. He is getting it done. The value really on the board, if you want a value center, I mentioned Charlie Coyle getting more ice time with Krejci out of the lineup. He's 3.6 at the center position. So if you go him and Nate, then you're saving a bit of cash there with Coyle. Craig Smith is 4.2, Richie is 4.5, and then Matt Zuccarello is 4.7. So I don't know. I think we spend up, right, Cam? We spend up on these Colorado guys, and we take the value in maybe with Arizona and with Boston.
Yep, I agree. And I was just watching, the Bruins Islanders game last night, and they had that second line on, and Richie and those guys in their interview meeting, they were absolutely pissed. Like, I really liked what I saw. They were disgraced. They're like, we quit in the third period. I love everything that you're saying. I think all those guys have a huge game tonight for Boston against the Rangers, and you can get a really nice price for these guys too, which I totally agree with. Goaltender is going to be an issue because I told you I'm already taking a big chunk of salami. I don't know which goaltender to go to. Probably the way I look at it would either be You know, do you go with Boston's or do you go with Minnesota? Just hope the Kings, maybe they win a 4-2 game, get the win. Like, what do you think? What do you think about the goaltender?
I think, Rask is a little bit too expensive for me, 8-2. I don't like to spend up for goalies. Like, I can't do it. Like yesterday, Matt Murray, and I had to talk a lot of people into Matt Murray.
I was listening.
But he was 6'9", and even against the Habs, he was 6'9". And so I'm not seeing a goalie here in that range. I mean, Quick is 7'2", Pettersson's 7'2", Kemper's 7'3". I'm not into Kemper. I can't do it. I think Colorado. No. So I think it's probably from like Rask. I'm not going to spend up on Rask at 8-2, and I'm not going to get involved with Georgiev. I mean, he's 6'6". It's crazy. 6'6".
Yeah.
But I probably just go to, Grubauer 7'7". I don't hate it, even though we think that there's going to be some goals there. I mean, that's a pretty big discount for Grubauer. He's been one of the better goalies all season, but it's probably in that LA and Minnesota game.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't think Talbot's going to get the start 7-8, but Kakkonen 7-8.
Yes, Kakkonen's my guy. I hope they don't. If they start Cam Talbot, I'm definitely going on the over in the game too.
Yeah,
Kakkonen's better. Yeah, I know exactly. So just ride the hot hand there.
Yeah. So just looking at all the teams, I know there's only 6 teams playing tonight, but you guys know watching the show, I like to look at the 5-on-5 numbers. Where do the high danger chances come from, and just the teams. Arizona and New York, they're the two that have allowed the most out of all the teams playing tonight. So I think, getting involved with the Bruins and that secondary line, and then getting involved with Colorado. Don't be afraid to mix it up if you want to get in, with Kadri. You got to try to be unique with maybe your lines, Burakovsky, Kadri, something like that. Sod's a guy who's been scoring 5-on-5. Over at defense, your guy, Chychrun up at the top, 6'3", absolute stud. Makar, 6. McAvoy 5'9", Fox 5'8", Taves 5'6". We have Doughty 5'4", Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's 5'2", and then Dumba. Dumba's 4'8". I think it's a pretty good price for Dumba, 4'8", and then Gerard is 4'4". Those are guys that I really like. I just think that the price is nice, bit of a discount there as well. What do you think about spending up maybe for Makar or Chychrun? I think we could do it with the value in Boston.
Yeah, we can. But I like your Dumba play, and we like Minnesota in this game, Meaney. So that's a good price too. I got no problem with that. But yeah, Makar. That's who we're all in on Colorado and the over kind of tonight. So just Makar, he'll log ice, he'll do everything for these guys right now. And sometimes you get what you pay for, and Makar's a stud. Pay up.
Yeah, I mentioned Jacob Zabroli on this show before.
Jabroni?
Hungry? He was out of the lineup for a bit. He returned last night. He played 19 minutes, and he blocked a shot. He had an assist. He sometimes gets power play time on that second unit. If you're looking for just a punt save, he's 2.5 on DK. He's right at the bottom, and then Bowen Byram is 2.8 on DK. So those are like your punt plays if you are.
That's a great price.
Cash. Yeah,
come on, man. That guy, he's awesome.
He really is awesome. Yeah. Maybe I don't know if you saw him throwing his body around against Vegas the other night. He almost took off Marchessault's head. I don't know if you were talking about with Blessing. And then Marchessault gave him a shot in the back of the legs. And then he got up and then tried to take the same shift, he took a run at Pietrangelo. Yeah. So he's just taking runs at everyone. And Pietrangelo was telling him, like, listen, kid, calm down a little bit here. Yeah. I know you're a nice, young, exciting rookie. You need to be laying everybody out. But he plays aggressive, blocks shots, got offensive upside. He joins the rush, gets a little bit of PP time as well. So,
I do have one positive, Meaney, for like good guy of the week, and everyone, all these guys who don't understand the sport, fighting in hockey, whatever. Well, Marcus Foligno could have killed that young Russian guy in the Sharks. He could have ended his life, and instead he waved off and said, "Listen, man, this guy's in trouble right now." So all you people that just really don't understand the game, are like, "Oh, barbarians," whatever. The problem with hockey is hitting from behind, slew footing, and cheap shot. These guys know how to police themselves. We've talked about the instigator stuff, and I'll tell you, Marcus Foligno, thumbs up right there, because that guy could have literally killed that kid on San Jose, and he let him go. He's like, okay, fight's over. Bring in the linesman. Let's rock, Meaney. That's a class act right there. And that's what you do when your opponent's down like that. You make sure you don't give them permanent damage.
Yeah, that's a good call. Did you see the video in Russia where they're like the kids are fighting with each other?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. What's Team Canada doing? Or do we have stop signs on our back, or are we going to put some kids in headlocks anyway? I don't want to sound like a knuckle dragging Neanderthal, as me and Blessing. That's what we call him. But hey, eventually, I remember when we were playing hockey, Meaney, like the first year of body contact, you better figure out what to do. You got to protect yourself out there, right?
Yeah, you really do. It comes at you fast.
It does.
Yeah, when you take that next jump, I remember ban them for anyone who's playing hockey. Like you got to ban them as age 14, 15, then you can hit. But then doing a little bit of coaching over the last 10 years or so, kids they're hitting now at age 5 and 6. So you got to be prepared. You can't just all of a sudden get to ban them and then now you're hitting with some of those big boys. You got to learn how to do it at a young age. All right. So just to Matt, do you have any DFS stuff for us? Maybe are you on the same page as us?
Yeah, same page exactly. Just spend up where you can. I love the Dumba play. I'm probably gonna go, like you said, and go after that second line in Boston, just to be a little different there. Big fan of that, and I'll always go to my boy Kaprizov. I love that kid. I think he's such a good hockey player.
Yeah, I was looking at 5-on-5 numbers yesterday, and he's in like the top 7 in primary assists. Like he's a playmaker for sure, and Zuccarello's right now benefiting from that playmaking, playing with that guy. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like Wednesday was bad, but Monday was real bad too. Can we get some good news on picks?
Wednesday.
Don't worry, me. I'm getting smoked too, man. This week has been tough.
Cold.
Yeah, I'm cold
for
too.
A bad couple of days. How did it go Wednesday, Matt?
All right, so Wednesday I was talking to you. One game was in a shootout as we were talking about it, and luckily Arizona came through for you. Florida was a miss. Philly you got. Arizona you got. Missed the over. You missed the over/under on Mini Colorado. You got the under on St. Louis, LA, and missed the over on Carolina, Tampa Bay, which makes you go 3 for 6 on Wednesday. But add those bonus first goals in there too.
And you don't need to add those.
No, I'm not going to add it to your total. I'm not that nice. But you ended up going you're 56 out of 91 on the season so far.
Okay.
What's wrong with that? Making money.
Need to turn it up a little bit. It's been a rough week. It has been a rough week. It's nice to get those first goals, like you said. You get the first goals, you get the live bets and stuff. That's great, but not everyone's into the first goal. So we want to get some winners here. I like Boston, Colorado, and Minnesota. I mean, it seems pretty chalky, but those are my 3 teams. I like the over in Colorado as well. What do you think, Cam?
I'm on it. I don't know which dog's going to kill us tonight. I like Colorado in the over. I think the over in that game's the best. I also think Minnesota and LA sneaky over. I like Minnesota in that spot, even though the Kings have been lightning. And I'll tell you something, Chris Meaney, if I could have a meeting with guys on the Blues, I'd go into their open up the locker room and go into everybody's wallet and stick it in a big bag and walk out. This team's cost me more money than any team in the National Hockey League. I don't know what is wrong with them. They have major problems scoring goals. The Blues, these guys are 2 years away from a Stanley Cup. They can't even score. They can't do anything right. But I like Minnesota to the over, Colorado to the over, and lean Boston to the over. I just don't like the juice of these games. They might have to be played in parlays and round robins as well.
I think so. I think that's a good call. I think you got to get involved with the parlays with just 3 games. Some heavy favorites here. Again, with the shots, I like Pasternak. I know it's 3.5. I like him. Rantanen, Landeskog. Have some fun with the first goals. I think you attack that second line in Boston. Craig Smith 17-1. If you want to go back to Matt Zuccarello 13-1, I don't hate it. I follow 18-1. But Fiala is a guy who likes to shoot the puck as well. 10-1 is not bad for Kevin Fiala. Maybe first time goal. You want an under? I'll give you an under. Clayton Keller under 2.5 shots. This guy's been under 3 shots in 5 of his past 6 games. Great player. But for whatever reason, he just likes to pass it off. You know why? Because Garland's on his line. He loves to shoot, and we love that guy. Cam, we also love you. We appreciate it. Where can people listen to you? When?
Yeah, we got, I'm doing some updates with Scotty Farrell, me and Morency, 6 to p.m. weekdays. We do a show, Game Time Decisions and In-Game Live. We tackle everything, the hockey live betting, college basketball, NBA, you name it, we got it. Even me with golf. We've been pretty on fire on the golf course last week. That Max Homa pick really put me in a good spot. But I'll tell you, Meaney, we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm on 8 p.m. till midnight on Saturday. There's a lot of late hockey action that night on the Sports Grid Radio Network and Sirius Channel 204. We'll have some live hockey for you, buddy. And maybe we could talk about TopShot and see what happened in a future show, because I just, this stuff's right over my head. The fact that you actually have real paper upper deck cards made me like you even more. Good for you, Meaney. You're old school.
Go.
This guy's a real man.
Over on Mean Streets, I picked up this. I thought we could just have some fun with it. There's just like, these are real hockey cards, not digital. Can we get some NHL TopShot? I may buy myself a video. I don't know. I don't know what the cool kids are doing these days. But I will open this up. I'm just gonna have some fun on Mean Streets. It's a free show over at the FTN Network YouTube page. I'm gonna open it up and I'm just gonna talk about the player that's in there, like a buy low, sell high, hit some waiver wire stuff. Just have some fun.
I like it. It's like a hockey card dartboard. You just reach into the box and whoever comes out comes out. That's cool.
Maddie's buying TopShot videos. How many you got on the go?
I only have one. How'd you know? Oh yeah, I guess I tweeted about it once. Yep. I don't know. I'm not in it for the long haul. I'm just in it to get something real quick and flip it and then get the hell out of there.
It feels like something where somebody's going to funnel monies somewhere. I just don't like, and that's the thing. They talk about limited video production and stuff. This stuff's like right over my head. And so I'm buying a highlight pack that turns into this and they've only made so many highlights. Like I'm like, what the hell happened to like gold, silver, hockey cards, stamps, collectibles? Like I'm telling you, Matt, like me, you were in League of Legends and stuff. Like I'm just an old stooge who bets on sports. Like I'm looking at this stuff going, what are you doing to me here? Like Meaney, like what do? Do I buy the common pack or, you could go for the all-stars at $225? I better get, so what do we get? A shot of Marcus Foligno, like putting his fist through somebody's face. And then maybe one day it's worth money. I have no idea what's going on here.
We'll get a shot of that pizza that Jeff Petrie gave up to Nate Thompson. He must have felt, hey, Nate Thompson, we used to play together. I like you. You're a good guy, Nate Thompson. Here you go. Here's a goal. We'll get that one TopShot. I paid top dollar for that. All right, Cam Stewart, Matty Best. I'm Chris Meaney. Good luck on the ice. Let's get some winners here tonight. Check out Matt on the weekend over at the Mayo Media Network. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. Cheers.